Hello, this is a guide on using the RumiRas.io's console commands. To open this menu, the most efficient way is to use F12. Not all computers have that, but there are ways to open it without F12, so don't worry. So F12 is very simple. If you don't have F12, the next best thing is to try using Control-Shift-C. That's what I've seen online a lot. If that doesn't work, you could try Control-Shift-J, Control-Shift-I, or you could try replacing Control with Search, or if you're on a Microsoft, using the four square icon. If none of those work, just look up how to inspect keyboard shortcuts and try to find one that does work for you. Once you get it, you want to be on the Console tab. And you can see here, I'm on Elements. The console one is this one with the axis. To the left is bug icon. And this is where you can input commands. Use enter to input them. First, I'm going to use set entity. This is how we can change the entities to spawn. So normally, the only entity we can spawn is a square when we press the F key. So we want to change that, and set entity is how you change it. So let's say we want to change it to an egg. So first of all, the E in entity is capitalized. Capitalization is important here, so just be wary of that. So they spawn an egg. We do a parenthesis and apostrophe, and then we do egg, and then apostrophe parenthesis. And that changes the F key to an egg. So now we can spawn eggs. So for more complex entities, it's not that simple since you can't just use its name. If you want to say spawn an EK1, you can't just do set entity to EK1. That does not work. Even though it says set key to EK1, that isn't the actual official like code name for EK1. So you just get this invalid entity and you get some error messages. So of course that's not gonna work. Instead, we need the EK1's code name. So to find that, the best thing to do is to take the Wumi Online Glitch Me, and here after the me, you do slash definitions.js. And this will take you to the definitions page. And on this page, it has all the code for pretty much every entity in the game. And here we can find the code names for bosses and other things. So if I look for an egg, well, it's going to be tough because there's going to be a bunch of egg stuff here. That's a lot. Oh, it does appear early, so maybe I can find it. Here's an egg colony. There it is. So here's the egg. You can see it's defexports.egg. And that's the code name for egg. So it's a lowercase egg, and now we'll spawn the egg. So let's say we want to spawn EK1. So we do EK-1. And here's the first instance, egg boss tier 1. So that's the code name for EK1. However, that isn't actually what we want if you want to spawn the boss version of it. If you choose set entity to egg boss tier 1, you'll just get a completely inactive EK1 that just kind of sits there and doesn't do much. Ouch. So, of course, that's not what we want. We want to get an EK1 with an AI. So to do that, you gotta keep searching here. So I'm gonna go to the next one, the next instance of EK1, broadcast message, and EK1 has been defeated. And if you look up, you see Eggboss Tier 1 AI. That's exactly what we want. So we use that instead of just Eggboss Tier 1. And with that, we have now gotten ourselves the EK1 with an AI, so it truly is the boss version. So you can do that for pretty much any boss or anything in the game. Let's say we want to spawn the Sun King, which is a wave 70 boss or boss rush. We search Sun King, And here is the Sun King. So Ultimate Mothership. Now typically when you find a boss, it will not have an AI, so you want to look for the next thing. Here you can see broadcast Sun King extinguished, and here it is, Sun King AI. And you know it's the Sun King because it says parent is Dev Export's Ultimate Mothership, and that's what the original Sun King was, the Ultimate Mothership, as you can see up here. So by using the Sun King AI in set entity, we can spawn the Sun King with an AI. So there it is. It's really laggy, so it's gonna take a bit for this to load and then unload. That is a good example of that not every single entity will have an AI version. That's just its original name with AI after it. You can see original name was Ultimate Mothership, but the AI name is Sun King AI. So it's not always going to be the same. There's also, in the case of bosses with AIs, there's also a really strange one when it comes to the Splitter Summoners and the World Destroyer. You see, Splitter Summoner here, there's the original, but it doesn't have an AI variant. Like, you can't find it. If you try doing Dev Exports Splitter Summoner to then try to, like, brute force your way into finding it by trying to find the Dev Export Splitter Summoner in the Parents tab, you won't find it. You'll just simply find Def Exports the original, and then you'll find the one you can play as. So because of that, in this case, the Splitter Summoner automatically has an AI. And the same applies to the Super Splitter Summoner and the World Destroyer. So for those, you don't need to find an AI. So to recap, to spawn something other than a square, you use set entity. You use a parenthesis apostrophe combo like this, and you put whatever you want to spawn in between the apostrophes. If what you're looking for doesn't have a simple name, just look for it somewhere here. For instance, let's say we want to spawn the Obsidian Alpha Pentagon. You can find it here, and its name is Obsidian Alpha Pentagon. So we can use that in here, and we can change our entity to the Obsidian Alpha Pentagon. So that is the set entity commands and how we can choose which entities we want. Now, come on, the computer does this for some reason. There you go. So now, let's say we want to do something else. So, okay, so let me look over other commands too, since that entity is not the only one. So, another one is spawn entity. It just spawns a single entity, but what you need to do that is very complex. So, it's something that isn't really super valuable anyways, because the only benefit this can really give you is like putting it on your team or having it go against be with the polygons. But yeah, you just choose an entity, its XY coordinates, its team affiliation, its color, the size, and the value, which the value is its score. Next is broadcast. Broadcast will let you just type a message you want, so parenthesis apostrophe hello, and then you can see on the top of the screen right here that hello appears. Then there's a stream of set commands. So set children will let you choose how many drones you can have at most. So this only works if you use it when you're already the tank you're using. If you upgrade after setting it, it will just reset. So you don't want to do that. So with this, the splitter has about like 20 drones it can use. But if I use set children to 100, it can have a lot more than 20. So that's pretty simple and pretty powerful. Then there's set color. Set color, you just choose a color ID and you can become that color. Unless you take the time to learn the color IDs, it really isn't worth it. Especially because if you press B on your keyboard, you can just cycle through random colors anyways. So it's like, why even bother? And if you want to go back to your original color, you just press Y. So set color isn't super useful. Set control is a special one, but I can't use it on a sandbox and effectively show it off because sandbox is a little strange. So if I just go to a different server like Squidward Sea's Islands, was it? Something like that. If I go here, I can just use set control, and then I can choose how many clones I want, and set control, and now I have 9 clones of myself. So yeah, this is very powerful, as you can see. The clones will follow you around. Want to get rid of them, you can just kill them. Best way to do that is to turn on passive and then kill them all at once. In that case, they're all basics since I'm using a specialized tank here in this mode. So couldn't quite see the full effect, but if I do it as a developer here, I could do set control 9 here and then get a bunch of developers. So next up, I'm going to skip the ones I don't know. I don't know what that key does. So set FOV lets you change your field of view. So if I do set field of view to 2, I get a really large field of view. And yes, field of view stacks pretty fast. Next is set score. This just lets you choose what your score is. So you can have some really big number like this. It's like 2 trillion-ish. That's just 10 to 20 billion. So yeah, I have a score of 20 billion. And you can see here that I have a negative score, so that's funny. So next up is set size. This lets you change your size. So you do something, I think the standard size is like, I think about 12. So if we do like set size to 48, it's about 4 times bigger than the normal size, although the developer tank is bigger than normal, so that doesn't really apply there, I guess. Oh well. So set size seems straightforward. Set skill will let you change how many skill points you have. You can see here I have 60, but if I do 90 here, bam, I have 90. I can upgrade all these to maximum. Set spin speed lets you change your spin speed. It's hard to show with the event developer, so I'm just gonna go back to normal tank. Now, spin speed gets really fast with even really tiny numbers. If I do set spin speed to like 0.25, that's already pretty fast. And I'm pretty sure the way it is that it just, you rotate that many radians every frame. And a radian is just a unit of like spinning that you don't have to know. But like if I do set spin speed to like about pi, which is 3.145, then well, okay, it doesn't show very well, but if I do it to 2 times pi, which is like 6.283, then you can see I'm spinning so fast that I'm just that it doesn't look like I'm even spinning anymore. That's funny. So anyways, next up would be set stat. This lets you change your stats like very precisely. So if you want a list of them, you do set stat, then apostrophe names apostrophe, and this will give you all the stats you can choose from. So there's weapon speed, weapon reload, move speed, max health, body damage, and weapon damage. So you can choose your a stat and then you can make it go really large. Set tank will just change your tank to whatever you want. Using the definitions here helps a lot. If I really wanted to, I could use Obsidian Alpha Pentagon again and become that. And now I am an Obsidian Pentagon. And the last one I'm going to talk about is set team. So set team will let you change your team to be whatever you want. So if I choose to be on team -100, that's the polygon team, then I would, or I guess not. Maximum team count for a server is 1. So depending on which server you're using, there may not be the option to go on other teams. But you can change your team to -1 for the blue team, -2 for the red team, -3 for the green team, -4 for the purple team. I'm assuming for the green and purple, but that's how it is for blue and red, so I don't know why it wouldn't be that way. But yeah, that's how it works for red and blue. And then -100 is the polygon team. So if you want to join the polygons, you can do that. So that's all the commands I'm going to be talking about. Hopefully you could understand. Again, we use F12 or Control Shift C, J, or I for the menu or some other combo that you can just look up how to do. To do entities, to like change entities you can spawn, remember set entity, use this page definite, which is wumionline.glitch.me/definitions.js. Look up the name of what you want us to use. Use its def export's name. If you want to spawn something, a boss, look for the AI counterpart and use that for the set entity command. And then you can spawn a boss that has a proper AI. Now, most bosses that you can't normally encounter don't have an AI, but a few of them do. So just kind of look around for those and see if you can find any. But anyways, that's all. That's all I gotta say. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was useful.